Modern day vehicles have bigger and bigger wheels going on them all the time these days, and they look damn good. But does wheel size matter? I'll go into that today. We'll talk about does wheel size matter and how it affects your vehicle. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Talking Mods. If you watch the intro, we're going to be talking about does wheel size matter and how it affects our vehicle. You might know the answer to all this. How does it affect range? How does it affect your miles per gallon? Your transmission? So we'll go into all of these topics. Before we do, I am the owner CEO of at Mod Bargains, and yeah, we sell a lot of wheels. So if you're thinking about getting wheels, obviously we love to switch wheels on vehicles. I think it what makes the biggest impression, and that's kind of goes into the factor of, especially when you are looking at wheels, does the wheel size matter? So the big question, does it matter? And
Yes!
of course it does matter, but to what extent, that's where I'm going to get into it, and it depends on the vehicle. The major thing that we see now is manufacturers are going with bigger and bigger wheels. So, but the vehicles have actually gone bigger. Cars have more horsepower, more acceleration. More torque, and so they can take it on, and they're also set up for it. So when it's time to choose your wheels, what are you going to do? Are you going a step up, or are you going a step down? What is the application? That's where things really matter. Let's say you own a Tesla Model 3 and you have 18-inch wheels that came standard on it. Well, they actually have options to go to a 20-inch or 21-inch. But their sweet spot is actually going to be in the 18-inch. And I'll explain that and how that works. So in order for us to get the wheels spinning, right, we need torque. That's logical, right? So we need to put torque into it. So the torque value is based off the radius of the wheel and any tangent force that the wheel creates. So in the simple matters, if you've taken physics, Newton's law of force, you need the mass and acceleration. So we need to get it accelerated. So basically what's happening is we need to now use more power, more torque in order, when the wheel goes bigger, in order to get it to a certain point. But when you do all this and you go to a bigger size and the way the force comes on, I've talked about in a previous video how power it gets delivered. The gearing, the ratios all have to be in line. So when wheels are set up, they need to be set up with the proper rolling diameter for the vehicle. That's what we do. That's what the mod experts do. That when a properly set up vehicle is done correctly, that's what we do. So you have a lot of different factors that come into play, right? So it depends on how high you go and what you do to it. The other thing that could also be affected is the speedometer. Modern day vehicles now have computers that will relearn for the different size. So when you have changed the wheels, you just say, hey, I have this size wheels on it. If you own a Tesla, it says I have 18, 19, 20. You can select it and it will adjust. If whatever, even Porsche, etc., they all now have this, but older vehicles did not, and therefore the speedometer used to be a little bit off. We're not talking about huge numbers off, but slightly off. And I'm pretty sure that if you got pulled over for it and said, well, I didn't know that I was going this fast, the cop really probably wouldn't care and still give you a ticket. But anyway, that's a whole different story. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't happen because it's, again, negligible. So what are some of the other things that happen when you go to a bigger wheel? A lot of people say that you'll also have a bigger expense. I don't think that to be 100% true. That might be true at a certain level and at different, again, if we go back in history, yes, that was true. The thing is, again, wheels have started to become bigger for passenger vehicles. In recent times, you can actually even see 20-inch tires being almost the same price as a 19-inch tire. You're not paying an extra $100 per tire. You're paying maybe $3, $4 a tire difference sometimes. It all depends, again, on width and so forth and the tire brand. And 21-inch, which used to be one of the most abused, and I'm going to just reveal it, Pirelli is one of the most notorious companies for abusing that, because they knew that when they made a tire that they were the only ones in town with it. They have a monopoly on it because they were the only ones with that size. They could basically charge whatever it was. So they would charge crazy prices, 21-inch tires, which lately have become a very popular. It's becoming a lot more popular, especially with the bigger EV vehicles. Just vehicles in general have gone bigger, but 21 inches is starting to become a very big popular tire. Now, what about it increasing your miles per gallon or your range? Well, in that case, yes, it does actually. Again, keep in mind, we're using, I talked about the fundamentals, but to get that torque, that initial, right? When you have to step on the gas that one time in order to get it to a certain point where it starts moving, you end up using a lot more power. There's going to be a small difference, but it's a negligible difference. We're talking about like overall, probably like a 0.2. We have a chart, so the EPA did this. They actually did it with the wheels. So we'll put up the chart so you can kind of see at different sizes. So all of this is just about getting the right balance. Balance is always the key in modifying your car. What about the quality of the wheels? We did a video talking about the different wheels, the way they're made, and there's different weight classes. So if you're able to reduce the weight of the wheel and increase the size, well, there you go. You've now decreased the weight that's needed, right, on the mass in order to get the acceleration going. So again, that's a factor. So that can really affect your miles per gallon or your range, whatever you want to look at. But so the way the wheels are made, if we are talking about the difference between a gravity cast and a forged wheel, we could be talking about 10 pounds of a difference off a similar wheel that's actually has a bigger diameter, which is just crazy when you really think about it. So yeah, switching your wheels will make a difference, but again, setting it up correctly, having the right setup for the wheels with the right tires, what width you're getting. By adding more width, you get more grip, so you get more control, but you get more rolling resistance, right? Rolling resistance affects your miles per gallon. So yes, you've increased your handling abilities, but that could also affect your miles per gallon. So it's all about finding the right balance. Real race cars, guys who are tracking are going to go probably for a sweet spot level into the 18-inch. They'll try to go as wide as possible to get more cornering, more control. In terms of when we are talking about for looks, obviously everyone goes bigger, and I think it makes, as long as you get the right wheels, it's going to be great. So anyway, in conclusion, does it matter? Yes, it matters. Should you consult with someone who knows? I do think so. But if you know where your sweet spot, what you like, and the look that you like, I think that's the most important at the end of the day. Guys, what do you think? I mean, I know this can be kind of controversial because a lot of us go for, the performance side. Again, it just depends on the vehicle. And I look forward to your comments below. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It really does help us grow this channel, and especially when you share it. So if you share it, that's the best thing that is possible for us, because we want others to be educated to grow this community together.